a few more minutes and we got a lot more orange fumage going on. Got some nice bubbling going on. So looks like we got some stuff going in solution. Let's hope a lot of it doesn't stay in that carbon that's in there. Although I have a solution for that. It's just not immediate. We'll talk about that later. Yeah, we're getting some serious bubbling going on down in there now. Been a little while longer. So reaction's obviously still going on, so I'm just going to let it cook and we'll see what happens. Okay, it's been a while longer. Maybe, I don't know, half an hour or so. It looks like the reaction has petered out. Give it a stir here. And I think I will put in a little bit more nitric just to make sure that we get all the gold in the solution. Not too worried about over-noxing it because I will denox it. Oh, that's causing a vigorous reaction, so yeah. I think it needed some more nitric acid. Okay, we'll let that cook a little while longer and see what happens. Well, I see foam rising as we speak. Hopefully it's not going to rise too high. Yeah, looks like the bubbles are breaking. Okay, good. I'll keep an eye on it though, just in case it does rise up too high. Okay, lots of orange fumes again, so I guess it did need some more nitric acid. So we'll wait till the reaction dies down and I'll add a little more and see if it still needed more. And we'll keep that up until I'm not really getting a reaction anymore. Well, the reaction seems to have slowed down a lot again, so I'm going to give it another shot of acid. It's about maybe 3 milliliters. Let's see if the reaction revives. Cook. Well, after a few minutes we've got some fairly strong fuming and some foaming again, so I guess it needed a little more nitric acid. So we'll let this reaction die down and then see if it needs yet more. I got a feeling it's going to take a lot because of the fact that I did not do a nitric acid boil on it before going straight to aqua regia, as some of you folks suggested. So we'll see how it goes here. Alright, like I said before, many times, just gonna let it cook. Well, there's something in there that just keeps reacting with the nitric acid. I mean, I have put just an outrageous amount of nitric acid in this stuff, and every time I do, I get a fairly vigorous reaction. Lots of fuming, lots of foaming. So I don't know what exactly is going on in there. Certainly I've put more than enough nitric in by now. I'm sure like well over 20 milliliters that the gold should be dissolved. Any base metals left in there should be dissolved. So I'm not sure what exactly is going on. There's a lot of carbon in there. Carbon is kind of like a trickster, a jokester. It can cause you all kinds of problems. It's possible I'm getting some kind of reaction with the carbon. I'm thinking what I need to do is just let this reaction calm down and then give it a stannous chloride test to see if we've got our gold in solution. And if so, denox it, ice it, and go ahead and filter it and see what we can drop out of it. So that's my plan moving forward, because I've got way too much nitric acid in there already. I don't know what's going on. Mystery to me. If you've got an idea what's going on, leave me a comment. Let me know. Thanks. Okay, well, the foaming has subsided. It's not producing orange fumes anymore. Let's get a little bit of this nasty stuff. Ooh, that is nasty too. I don't even know if we'll be able to see if there's gold in it or not, as opaque as it is. I don't know. We'll try a stannous chloride test on this stuff and see what we get though. Okay, as dark as this stuff is already, I don't know what, if anything, this is going to tell us. Well, okay, it darkened up a whole lot more. Alright. I would say, yeah, that went from dark brown to super dark black. So I would say, yeah, we got some gold in solution. It's kind of hard to tell with this stuff, but I would say we do. So, okay. I'm going to stop putting nitric on it, and I'm just going to denox it and ice it down. It'll be interesting to see if there's any residual nitric acid in there when I put sulfamic acid on it. That will be interesting to see. Okay, got my usual saturated solution of sulfamic acid here to denox this stuff. Let's see if it actually needs any denoxing, or if it's just used up every little bit of the massive amount of nitric acid I put in there. Let's see. Little bit of a reaction. Not much, but a little bit of a reaction, so I guess there is a bit of excess nitric in there. Okay. Let me get some ice. We'll ice this down, cool it, dilute it, and then hopefully we'll be able to filter it and maybe drop some gold today. Okay, let's get some ice on this stuff and get it started cooling down. Get the ice out of the beaker, that would be nice. There we are. Okay. Get it started cooling down and diluting. Didn't immediately turn green. I was kind of half expecting that. But maybe it's green underneath all that brown. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to take this stuff out of the fume hood. It will cool down much quicker out on the bench because the hot plate's still warm. So let me get it out on the bench, and we'll be back when the ice is all melted and we're ready for filtration. Alright, got it out of the bench. It's cooling down. I'm actually going to add some distilled water to this too, to further dilute it beyond the ice I put in there, because since we didn't treat this with nitric acid first, which is my normal MO, I'm worried there's a lot of silver chloride in there, and I want to give it a chance to fall out of solution. Diluting this will help with that. It raises the pH, and the silver chloride just wants to fall out of solution better. So as this cools down, which it's doing, and now it's diluted, hopefully we'll get any solids in there to come out. There was some reaction with the sulfamic acid when I put it in. If there had been no reaction, I'd have put a squirt of sulfuric acid in here to neutralize any lead that might be in here, but there was a reaction, so the sulfamic acid should have created some sulfuric acid on its own as it neutralized the nitric. So I think we're good there. I'm mostly worried about the silver chloride that's probably in here. So we'll see if that precipitates out or not, or if it's going to be a problem once we get to filtration. Okay, the ice has all melted. Let's get this stuff filtered and see what we've got. Hopefully it will come through clean first try. That would be really nice. Don't want to have to filter this stuff a couple of times. coming through sort of a dark yellow, light brownish. So that's not terrible. It looks pretty clear, at least initially here. We'll see what it looks like in bulk. Yeah, but it's actually filtering out pretty nice. Just slow. There's a lot of particulates in there, and I'm sure the filter's going to get clogged up. So this filtration may take a good part of the afternoon. So I am just as happy as can be that it doesn't look like I'm going to have to do it more than once. Yeah, it's slowing down a lot. This is going to take a while. And I think I'm going to have to switch out receiving flasks here at some point, because I think I'm going to fill this 2-liter flask up. Got a lot of liquid in this 3-liter beaker over here, so I'll probably need both of my filtration flasks to complete this filtration. Okay, so I'm going to let this filter. It's going to take a while. Be back when it's close to done. Okay, well, got all the liquid through. My big 2-liter flask is full. I'll start it on my 1-liter smaller flask here. I'm going to get the solids in and rinse any pregnant solution out of them. With copious amounts of distilled water. Get all this debris out of here. Let's see, is this scum gonna wipe off in here? Yeah. Alright. Well, Aqua Regia and the literal crap ton of nitric acid I put in this has done a great job of cleaning up the inside of this beaker. So that's nice. I do have some permanently stained beakers from working on some of the projects Ken sent me, especially getting his gold foils that were mixed in with all that informal coating stuff. I swear some of my beakers are permanently stained. I cannot get those stains off no matter what. But it's cleaned up okay, so that's nice. I'm going to give this a thorough cleaning, and once I'm done washing all this stuff through, we'll dump the contents of both these flasks back in here, and we'll drop the gold and see how much we get. So I'll be back when we're ready for that. Well, I'm at the point of washing the pregnant solution out of the solids in the filter here with lots of distilled water. And this is a look at what's left in the filter. There's some fiberglass mats there, which, I don't know, I peeled all but the smallest of the chips, so I don't know where they came from. They're pretty big. But look at all the silicon dyes in there. That's one thing I do like about wet ashing, is how untouched the silicon dyes are. They come out absolutely perfect. They're like little works of art. They're beautiful. So just got to rinse this a few more times. Liquid starts coming through clear into the receiving flask, and then we'll be ready to drop the gold. However much gold we got. Alright, filtration done. The liquid's back in a nice clean 3-liter beaker. That is an odd color. That is a really odd color. Wow, I don't know what we're going to get out of it. Reminds me of a line for one of my favorite movies, though. That's a pretty strange color to be painting government property. Extra credit to you if you know what movies that's from. Heavy extra credit this time. That's kind of obscure. Okay, so we're going to hit it with some SMB. Some Stump Out by Boneed. And we'll see what happens, okay? I don't know what kind of a color change we'll get out of this mess. Maybe it'll just go opaque on us. Put a little more in. There's a lot want liquid here. We are getting some foaming though, so that's generally a good sign. We know there's gold in there. Saw the stannous chloride test. We'll see if we can get it come out of solution. Woo! I got closed doors the fume hood. That's nasty. Sulfur dioxide coming out of there. Put the lid on to keep it in. We'll see what happens. Nothing happens, I'll put some more in a little while. But we'll see. Well, it's been a couple minutes. The liquid is definitely darkening up, and I don't know if it's showing up, but there's definitely a film of gold floating on the surface, as well as some bubbles. So we are getting gold coming out of solution. So just leave it and see what happens. I'm expecting this to be a really ugly, dirty gold drop because, well, it's coming out of ugly, dirty liquid. So who knows what's in there? Probably going to be colloidal gold. Well, it's going to be ugly. But, well, we're committed now, so we'll see what we get. Well, it's the next morning. This has had a chance to settle overnight, and that is just about as transparent as the tax code. Let me tell you, wow. That's some fairly close to opaque stuff. I can see there's a film of gold, at least I hope it's gold, down on the bottom of the beaker. But wow, there's a lot of nasty, very dark reddish brown liquid in that beaker. Close to 3 liters worth. Yeah, right about at the 3 liter line. So, what I need to do is siphon this stuff off and leave that film of gold in the bottom. So that's going to be my goal for this morning. So let me get set up for that. Morning 4 of this process. This is going to be a long video. So, hopefully we'll be done today, although there's no guarantee because I got a lot of other stuff I need to do today. So we'll see how far along I get. This might be turned into a 5-day project. I'm cutting in here near the end of the siphoning. I spared you having to watch me slowly siphon almost 3 liters of liquid off this stuff. So it's taken a while. I'm siphoning this into my temporary stock pot, which is just a 2.5 gallon bucket. And it will stay in here until the bucket's full, and it'll give a chance for any liquid that I siphon over to drop any gold out of solution that it's carrying. There's probably some fine gold still in solution here, or is suspended in the water column. I might suck up a little bit of fine gold off the bottom as I do this. The gold is a whole lot easier to get out of this temporary stock pot than out of my main stock pot. Every once in a while, after I dump the liquid out of this into my main stock pot, I will capture all the fine gold powder on the bottom of this bucket on a filter. And for those of you who say I don't do enough stannous chloride tests, I did test this liquid to see if it had any gold still in it, and it was negative. Unfortunately, I was not set up for filming. I should have waited so that you could have seen the test too. I actually do more stannous chloride tests than you see. I just don't film them all because I think they're repetitive. I think people get bored. But yes, I do them because I don't want to throw away any gold. Although I'm not really throwing it away. It's going into my stock pots, and I will get it back eventually. Okay, let me rinse out this hose. And we'll take a look at what's left on the bottom of this beaker. We've got a film of something down there. Kind of looks like gold. Okay. Okay. There's the film of gold on the bottom of the beaker. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wash this into a smaller beaker. I've got a much smaller beaker here. And then decide what to do with it. I'll try giving it a boil and see if it consolidates, but if it just wants to stay in the water column, what I'll end up having to do is just redissolve this stuff. I'll probably have to redissolve it. We'll see. So let me get it transferred over to the smaller beaker, and we'll get it on a on a hot plate in the fume hood and give it some boils. Okay, this is what I was afraid would happen. This is on the boil with some distilled water on it. And if the gold is somewhat clean, it will consolidate into bigger clumps and stay in the bottom of the beaker. Clean gold likes to stick to itself. Dirty gold doesn't like to stick to itself. It likes to stay a fine powder and stay in the water column, and that's what we've got going on here. It's just not clean enough. So I think what I'm going to do is turn the heat off first off. Let it cool down. Let the gold settle back to the bottom of this smaller beaker. And what I'll do is decant off the bulk of the liquid and probably redissolve it in aqua regia. Just a little splash is all it's going to take. And we carried over some of the foamy stuff with the gold. And then I'll refilter it and redrop the gold, and hopefully it will be much cleaner gold, and then maybe we can get an actual weight on it. This is starting to look like it's going to be a two-part video because this is getting really long. So hey, I've been incorporating a lot of you guys' suggestions in this video so far. If you have suggestions about how better to deal with dirty gold like this, let me know. Leave a comment, leave a suggestion. Maybe we'll try it in another video. Thanks. Alright, it is about 5 hours later, and this stuff just is taking its time settling. So yeah, it's really fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let it sit overnight again, and then decant off the liquid over the gold tomorrow and just hit it with some aqua regia, redissolve it, reprecipitate it, and hopefully it'll be a little cleaner the next time. I can do something with it, because I can't do anything with this stuff. Like I said, if you have a way of dealing with gold like this, you let me know what it is. Leave a comment. Would appreciate it. Thanks. Alright, this stuff has sat here now overnight, and the liquid still hasn't cleared. So there's obviously something in there besides gold. I mean, yeah, got a film of gold on the bottom of the beaker, it looks like, but there's something besides gold in there that wants to stay in the water column. So we're about to have a weather delay. We got some storms coming in, so this might sit for yet another day until I can get back out here and work on it. But I'll have to think about how to deal with this. There's clearly something in there besides gold that I need to get out. Okay, so let me give it some thought and go hide from the rain. Okay, yet another day has passed. And I don't know what is coloring this water, because I decanted off all of the colored liquid from over the top of this gold before I put it on the boil with some distilled water. So something settled out with the gold and then went back into solution with distilled water. I'm going to slowly and carefully decant off this colored liquid. I'm going to do it through a filter. So if there is any fine gold here, I'll capture it in the filter. And then what's left in here, we're going to redissolve in aqua regia. And hopefully this brownish stuff, whatever it is, won't continue to follow the gold through the process. I'm hoping we'll be done with it. Hoping, but not too hopeful. This isn't looking like a whole lot of gold, so I'm not sure I'm doing any better than last time. Even though I'm following you guys' best advice, I'm not sure I'm doing any better. But I guess we'll have to wait till the final weigh-up and see. So I'm going to finish decanting this off through the filter, and then we'll go back into the fume hood and dissolve whatever gold's in the bottom of this beaker in a little aqua regia. Filter it again, drop it, and we'll see what we got. Okay, I have decanted off that brown liquid, whatever it is, but I'll tell you what, this is some nasty looking gold. I'm sure a lot of it is gold down in there, but I think we got some other stuff mixed in with it. I'm hoping it won't go back into solution when we do the aqua regia, and I'll be able to filter it out. We will see. Fume hood going. Get some muriatic acid on this stuff. to use more than I probably need to, just to try and dilute whatever this goop is. So hopefully we can carry it away later. The leftover liquid after dropping the gold. So we got about, I don't know, a little over 200 milliliters of aqua regia there, or a little over 200 milliliters of hydrochloric acid there. I'm going to add about 2 milliliters of concentrated nitric acid. Put the lid back on. And I'm going to put some heat to it, just medium heat, nothing crazy. See if we can get that gold back in solution. And hopefully when we drop it, we'll leave that brown stuff behind on the filters. We'll see. Okay, it's got to warm up and we should get getting a reaction soon. Okay, it's been a few minutes, just a few minutes, and we're starting to get a little bubbly, but more importantly, look at how much the liquid has cleared up. So I don't know if something's going to solution, if that was like colloidal gold in there going into solution and clearing the liquid up, or if the whatever the brown stuff was is going into solution, or if the nitric acid is oxidizing away the brown stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's a combination of those three possibilities, or maybe it's something I haven't even thought of. Anyway, the liquid is definitely clearing up, and we're getting a reaction, so that's good. So we'll see how much of the gold, I assume that's gold on the bottom of the beaker, that 2 milliliters of nitric acid will dissolve. I can always add more, but I'm not going to hit it with a lot up front because there's not a lot of gold there. Okay, so it's going to let it cook and see what happens. Oh wow, it's a couple minutes later. I just turned my back on this for like 2 minutes and look what happened. We turned the heat down, although it's really on low. So we got quite the reaction going. Got lots of bubbling, got some orange fumage. Still not liking the color though. Okay, it faded a lot initially, but still, that is the wrong color for aqua regia. So we got something in there. This is why I don't like skipping the nitric acid boil stage, which I did with this stuff. On you guys' advice, well, some of you guys' advice. I can't blame all of you. So, yeah, I think the nitric acid boil last time cleaned things up super well. I mean, I didn't get a lot of gold, but it was super clean looking gold. This stuff's dirty as all get out. So, well, we'll see how it looks after it dissolves and I filter it. See what happens when I drop it again. Alright, all the gold looks like it's going into solution. I'm gonna use some saturated sulfamic acid solution denoxins. Oh, there was a little bit of excess nitric there, so it didn't take the whole 2 milliliters of nitric acid to dissolve all that gold in there. Well, all that gold. There wasn't that much. So I didn't put much nitric acid in there. So this is denoxed. Wash the rest of that sulfamic acid in there. Now normally I would ice this stuff, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to dilute it with some distilled water. And leave it sit to cool down to ambient. It's a good cool day. And once it's good and cool, we'll filter it. It's the wrong color. I don't know. I got a feeling I could be doing this for ever. I don't know. Maybe we'll leave the color behind this time. That would be nice. Okay, so I'm going to let this cool down, then we'll filter it and drop the gold again. Okay, this stuff's had a chance to cool off. You don't ever want to filter a hot liquid if you can avoid it, because a lot of times your filter paper will just turn to pulp and you'll have a blow through and you'll just wind up having to filter it all again. So I got a feeling this brownish stuff is going to pass right through the filter. We'll see. We'll see. But hopefully, when I drop the gold, it will stay in the liquid and not go with the gold. Okay, so I'm just doing a gravity filtration, so there's not much liquid here. It's going to go through pretty quick. There's not a lot of solids in it. Not big solids anyway. So once this is done, we'll go drop the gold again. Just waiting on a couple more drips to come through. There's what stayed behind in the filter. So yeah, the liquid's looking a lot better. Still not quite the right color, but a whole lot better than it was. So we'll get those last few drops through and head over to the fume hood and drop the gold again. Gold floating on the surface. Of course, I had gold floating on the surface last time, so that's no guarantee of purity. Okay, we'll just let this sit and settle. Okay, that's a much better looking gold drop. The liquid's nice and clear. Gold's on the bottom. I have to say it doesn't look like a whole lot of gold, but we'll see when it gets on the scale. I think what I'm going to do is decant off this liquid and into my temporary stock pot, and then we'll give this gold in here a boil and see if it stays consolidated. Okay, so let me do that, and we'll get back in here when we're ready to start boiling. Okay, let's add some distilled water to this. Well, the gold's staying together in a clump on the bottom, so that's a good sign. Okay, I'm going to put some heat to it and get it boiling. Okay, the gold's cleaning up nice. Okay, I guess we got rid of whatever that fine stuff was that wanted to stay in the water column. So I'm going to give this a couple more boils, then dry it out, and we will weigh it and see how much gold I got this time using you guys' suggestions. We'll see. We got some nice clean gold there, drying up, almost ready for the weigh-in. Okay, the gold's all dried up. I gotta tell you, it looks like about the same amount as last time. It really doesn't look any different. But we'll weigh it up and see here. Huh, wow, will you look at that? Holy cow, that's 2.28 grams. That's just about what I was expecting to get. I mean, they're normally, gold cornered BGAs are like about 1%. You know, the tops are about 1% gold by weight. And that's, you know, we did 220 grams of BGAs, so yeah. But it looks like the same amount of gold as I had last time. I don't know what's going on here. I was expecting another low number because it looks the same. Huh. I don't know what in the world's going on here. What in the wide world of sports is going on? I need to give some thought to what went wrong last time. I gotta go review the video. Okay, after watching the video a few times, especially the end where I'm weighing the stuff, I noticed I've gotten into a bad habit, and I will stop myself from doing it. And I try not to do it, but every once in a while I screw up. Rather than weighing the gold out on a weigh boat like I did right here. Right here. This is the right way to do it. Weigh it out on a weigh boat. What I've gotten into that bad habit of doing sometimes is just dumping the gold into my gold repository after I put it on the scale and restart it or tear it, okay? And, well, it's a bad habit for a couple reasons. First off, I don't think this always works right. And secondly, if something screws up, you know, the gold's in here now. I can't redo it and find out what the actual weight was. And I think I screwed up the weighing. I think I probably got a lot more gold there than I thought I did. But since I didn't know exactly how much was in here before I dumped that gold in, I couldn't weigh it up again and see what the difference was. I couldn't tell. and that gold was gone. It's all mixed in with the gold that's already in here. So that's a bad habit. I need to stop just dumping the gold into my gold repository here, gold powder repository, and assuming that I'm getting the right number on the scale, because a lot of times I don't think I am. So 2.28 grams, I will take it. That's nice. That's just about what I was expecting, and I bet I got about that much last time too. I bet I wasn't short 3/4 of my gold. I think just something screwed up in my weighing, because I checked my rinse water and I didn't see any gold in it. I totally disassembled the blender and rinsed everything into the reaction beaker that was in the blender, so there was no gold left in the blender. So I don't think I lost a lot of gold. I think I just screwed up on the weighing. I think my way of doing this has a lot fewer steps and produces cleaner gold, so I might have to try it that way again just to double check and make sure that it wasn't a weighing problem at the very end when I weighed up the gold I got that threw me off. And of course I couldn't reweigh it because it was already in here. So, okay, so not going to do that anymore. I'm always going to weigh the stuff in a little weigh boat before I dump it in here, okay, for safekeeping. All right, well, I think mystery solved. You guys had some good ideas, and some of your ideas I may incorporate, into this process in the future. Others, I'm not sure they really helped a lot, but thanks for all your input. I really appreciate it, and keep those comments and suggestions coming. And if you found this video at all interesting, educational, informative, inspirational, whatever, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to see my future videos. Check out my second channel, Electric Geek 64. If you're at all interested in electronics or retro computing, you may find something of interest there for you. And subscribe to see my future videos. I will see you in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching this one. Bye.